Welcome back to another exhibit pack update. Another cold month goes by, but we're currently experiencing a little bit of warmer weather. To us, that's the 20s and 30s Fahrenheit, before we get another winter storm with more snow and below zero weather. We've had some windy days, and that means that the Wolfcare team needs to be monitoring any wind damage to trees inside and outside of the enclosure, trees that could be compromising the fencing or the safety of our ambassadors. And speaking of fencing, while it keeps things pretty contained, we still get many small critters such as rodents. Here Blackstone has detected a rodent, and we like to think of it as some natural enrichment provided by their habitat. However, a downside is that he's not paying as much attention to what is happening behind him, and it puts him in a vulnerable position. In that case, some may take advantage, such as Rika here. It's easy to put our human emotions in the way, but in reality, she's just exhibiting normal natural behaviors. Blackstone does a good job at baring his teeth and warning both Cass and Rika to stay away, so Wolfcare team members do not intervene in situations like this. If Blackstone was being harmed and clearly unable to defend himself, we would try to distract Rika. The timing of those interventions is important too. We need to give Blackstone a chance to prove himself and not depend on Wolfcare team members to manage those interactions. Because biting is one way in which wolves communicate with each other, that is one of the main things that we monitor on a daily basis. Wolves are very resilient, but if we see wounds showing any signs of infection or something's not healing well, we then may try to treat it with antibiotics or clean the area. And of course, it is hard not to give an update on ravens too, since they're so interconnected with wolves, and that includes to our ambassadors. Their nesting season will start pretty soon here in mid-February, so you might catch them picking fur off of our wolves for their nests. However, our wolves sometimes will try to catch them as well, and one thing that the Wolfcare team has had to keep in mind is the recent avian influenza outbreak. Corvids are one of the main concerns, along with waterfowl and some other livestock, poultry, and while there's no documented cases of wolves contracting avian influenza that we know of, it has been documented in domestic dogs and other wild canid species, such as foxes and coyotes. So to ensure we're limiting exposure as best as we can, what we can control is that we avoid picking up roadkill that has been heavily scavenged by birds. We try to move carcasses near the buildings so that ravens are less likely to be on them. And sometimes that doesn't stop them, but we're also no longer taking donations of whole bird carcasses or wild parts for now. So we also make sure that we practice good hygiene as a team, and we wear clothing and footwear that are specific to coming into the enclosure. We also, of course, are monitoring any signs of infection. There's certain neurological signs or lethargy, fever that could indicate infection. But our pack is doing pretty well, pretty cohesive. Here they rest together in front of the viewing windows in the fresh hay, enjoying the warmer weather that we've had. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media.